Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to learn about Spring AI. Spring AI is an application framework that was created for Spring Boot applications to integrate generative AI solutions, different LLM models provided by different organizations, so that we can integrate generative AI solutions within our Spring Boot application. So within a Spring Boot application, what we generally have, we have various APIs, we have various databases or data that we are interacting with. So what Spring AI does is Spring AI is a kind of a bridge that help us to connect our APIs, our data store or databases to interact or connect with the generative AI world, like any models, let's say ChatGPT model or Google Gemini, Ollama, and there are different kinds of model. So let's see how we can integrate Spring AI within our Spring Boot application. So this is a simple Spring Boot application that we have created using the Spring Initializer. So if you see here POM, here we have added the basic dependency Spring Boot starter parent, and we have integrated the Spring AI starter model as well. Okay, so let's see how we can create this using the Spring Initializer. So if you go on Spring Initializer and select the language, project model, and the Spring Boot version. So here we can provide project metadata details, configuration, and here what dependencies we need to add for basic configuration, Spring Web. Here we can add OpenAI. I am for this video, I am using the Ollama, that I will tell you. It is a kind of LLM model that we can run it inside our own system and we do not have to pay anything for this. That's why I've used Ollama in this video tutorial. So let's first try to open Ollama and install Ollama in our application. So in Spring Initializer, we can click on generate so that it will generate a zip file which we can open in any of the IDE. So it will come with this POM configuration that I have just showed you. Okay. So now let's move to the Ollama. So how you can install Ollama in your system. If you see this, here this command is given. If you open your terminal, you just need to run this command which will install Ollama in your local machine. And after that, what you can do is we need to select a model. There are different models that Ollama provide. So for my I have just downloaded this model Gemma 2. So if you see, if I open this, there are different models within Gemma 2. Okay, so I have downloaded which has the least size 1.6 GB Gemma 2 colon 2B. So how you can run this? So you have this command. First, after to install Ollama, you can run this command. After that, you can run Ollama version. Once the Ollama is downloaded, you can see the version, right? Then you can when you can run this command Ollama list. This will list all the models that are installed inside your machine. So if you see, I have already installed the Gemma 2 colon 2B. Here you can see the size of it, right? How you can run this, or if you do not have it, what you can do? You can run this command Ollama run Gemma 2B, or if you want to install any other model, that also you can provide here. Even there are multiple models available, you can choose any one for your testing or for your application. So once we run this model in local, it will run and we can ask like how ask any questions, how we ask with any LLM models like ChatGPT, Google Gemini. So see, uh, see, it has replied, right? So now you would ask me like why the most popular LLMs are OpenAI, right? Why we are not using OpenAI? So if you see in OpenAI, if we try to as we need to interact with APIs of any model, if we go to this OpenAI platform and we see we do not have credits. For to make any API call, we need to buy some plan. See, there is one add credit plan. So we need to add some, we need to buy some credits. Then only we will able to call OpenAI. So it is not free, right? That's why I have choose Ollama models. Those come free. Okay. So once you run this model, this will start working. So now the major task is how we can use these models, these LLMs within our Spring Boot application. So if you see this dependency in our Spring Boot application, Spring AI Starter model Ollama, this we have implemented. This we have added the dependency. So now what we need to do is we need to have some configuration for AI chat model. How our Spring application will know that which model it is using. So the configuration that we need to use is Spring AI. Then we need to specify the model or the LLM that we are using, Ollama. So here, if you are using OpenAI, then we can use this configuration. OpenAI, we need to provide API key and the model option, as OpenAI has different kinds of model. Same with Ollama. Ollama also have various models. So what is this base URL? This base URL means that where this Ollama is running. So our Spring Boot application, when it will try to connect with this model, where it needs to hit the URL. So as this is running in our local host in our machine on this port, Ollama generally runs on this default port. Okay, and then we can mention the model name. If you are using different model, you can provide different model name. We have defined the application server port 8081, so our application API calls will go through this 8081 port. Okay, so this is the configuration part, and this is our application. So I have created simple controller with the request mapping API, and where I have provided a chat service for Ollama controller, Ollama chat service, and I have defined few APIs. Now before going to this, we need to configure the chat model. Okay, so if you see this bean, what I have created here, Ollama chat client, you can name it anything, simple chat client can be fine, which will return a which has return type of chat client. So this is Ollama chat client. Here, let's say if you have in your application YAML OpenAI model as well, or any other Google Gemini model, you can define bean with different names like OpenAI chat client, Gemini chat client, and for that we need to add dependencies as well for OpenAI chat model and Gemini chat models. Okay, so here, because this is coming from the Spring AI Ollama, okay, this class Ollama chat model, and then this chat client, inside this chat client, to build this chat client we need to provide Ollama chat model inside it. Now you can say like how this actually is working. This is fine, like we are creating a bean and it can work, but what is the like how Spring Boot or Spring AI is managing this under the hood? So let's try to understand with the help of one high level diagram. If you see this diagram, you can see we have a default chat client, okay, which will this is a chat client which will have a chat model. This chat model can be implemented by different clients like OpenAI chat model, Google Vertex AI chat model, or it can be any model which is responsible to interact with the OpenAI, the organization APIs with which we are requesting the data. So with the any LLM providers like OpenAI, Google AI or Ollama provides APIs like REST endpoints to interact with them so that we can send them information, let's say request to provide us any data so that they can process the request inside them, inside their model, and give us the response to our chat model. That chat model will give response back to the default chat client, and then chat client response we can send it to user. I hope you understand it. So these are not only two chat models, there can be n number of chat models like DeepSeek chat model, Ollama chat model, or many others. Okay, so this is how this is working. So same way we can create different beans of different models. Let's say OpenAI. Here we need to provide OpenAI chat model. Although it is not present, but we can add it. Let's remove it for now. Once we have created chat model, let me go back to, so I have created this controller class which has the chat service object. Okay, so inside chat service, here if you see in the constructor of it, we are providing the chat client inside it, right? And this chat client is same what we have created in the configuration AI provider config, and we are setting this chat client to this. So now what we are doing is, whenever any prompt that we are going to provide via our API call will come to this chat client will have a method prompt inside it. Okay, and then we will pass it under the user call, and then we will call it call method and content method. This will return the data in the string format. Okay, so let me first I will come back to this point later. So if you see this part in on the summary, and this controller is using it, Ollama chat service dot summary prompt, whatever prompt we are providing in our request body on this API slash summary endpoint will go here, and it will call these values. If you see what is inside this, that we will come later. Now let me try to run my application and see what it will do. So now our application is started on 8081 port. I have my Postman setup. This is our summary API. So let me ask what is the date today. See, we got the response from the LLM model. I do not have access to real-time information including the current date. So let's ask something other. LLMs. What is Spring AI? Okay, let me send this prompt. See, it is taking more time now to generate the data, as it will generate more data this time. See, here we got response. Let's explore Spring AI. Spring AI isn't a single universally defined product or team. Machine learning capabilities it has AI powered application, developers build application using Spring AI. So we got quite a good amount of data about Spring AI using this LLM model and using this endpoint, right? So how it works? From our Spring Boot application, we send a request to this controller endpoint through the get mapping. Then we have summary method inside the chat service. Inside chat service, we have chat client. Chat client is what we configured here in AI provider configuration class, right? Where what we have provided simply Ollama chat model. This Ollama chat model data, it is fetching from the application YAML, AI Ollama base URL as it is running in our local, and chat model JAMA to 2B, right? If I change these values to 2A, it will start giving us errors. If I try to run the application now, right? And if I hit in this endpoint again, see, we got 500. Now let's see what errors we got. 404. Error model JAMA to 2A not found. So as I have downloaded the 2B, JAMA to 2B version, right? That's why. So now let me fix it and restart the application, and let me hit it. So if you see, we have understood the basic flow in this AI provider, how it is working. Now let's see, go inside these classes, Ollama chat model. This implements chat model. So if I go inside, chat model has prompt, generation, and generation output, right? And let's see, go inside chat client. Chat client can have create builder. Inside builder, that is what we are passing, builder. Here we are passing the chat model, right? If we go inside builder, here again we are passing the chat model, and here it is using the default chat client builder. That is what we have shown in this diagram, default chat client builder, right? And then we are setting some values, default chat client request spec. So in this request spec, we are setting different values like chat model, chat options, user text, user parameters, and various values. We are not setting all the values, system text and advisors, chat options, so that Spring AI can, before making a LLM call, it can set these options and then refine the response what we got based on these values provided by us. So we have just did a basic configuration with this chat model, which will connect with this application, with this Ollama model. Okay. Then we have this summary endpoint. Now let me give you, now let me show you something interesting, like why I've created this summary endpoint. And we will understand how we can tweak the LLM behavior, or we can how we can use these LLMs for our own specific use case based on our specific requirement, right? So I have created this endpoint summary. So what I want is, whenever I give a prompt in my API on this endpoint, it should give a summary about it. Okay, so how we can get summary? It should not give any random data. So what we need to do is, we need to tell this LLM before making a call that you should be responsible for giving summary of any topic, right? So we need to provide some context to it. Okay, so in our AI provider config or in chat service, what we can do is, if you see, I have provided some system context summarizer string. If you read this out, let me just minimize this. If you read this out, you will get to know that I am providing it a context that how it should behave. You are a helpful assistant to summarize any given content. Ensure the summary is concise, informative, and captures the key points. Don't answer anything other than the summarization. If the question is not about summarization, you can respond with, I can only help you with summarization task. Okay. So if you see, if I ask it anything now, it will give me answer like who am I? If I hit enter, it will try to give some response. See, but I want to restrict it to give only summary. So what I can do is inside my chat client, when we are configuring it for summary, we can do this. We can add system context summarizer. So this system context required a string parameter which can have context to it, and have it can be added inside the chat client request spec. So if you see inside the system, it should not be null or empty, and it can set the system text value inside the default chat client. Okay, so that is what we are doing. So now let me run this again, and let's see. Now it should behave as a summarization agent or assistant, right? So now let me hit again. See now what response we got. I can only help with summarization task. Okay, if I ask now, can you give me summary about AI? Now it has read that it needs to give summary, right? Artificial. So we got a response. So what we did here, if you see, we kind of put a context, or what we can say, we try to guard it, right? The request is sent to the same LLM, this model, Llama 2 2B. But now it has some kind of guarding that it will, before sending the request, it will understand this system context. It needs to behave what we have told here. Then only it needs to generate a response. Okay. So if you see, I have created different APIs. Summary, right? Now I have created another endpoint as code. So if you see here, what I have done is system context coding assistant. Now we will get some example. See, we got a Python example. Now let me ask, what is JVM? If we ask what is today's date, it will give us, I am a coding assistant. Coding assistant can solve coding problems. Okay. So this is how we can set context to an LLM, or we can say guard it. We can put some filters. It is not a filter, it is guards. I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching this, and please share and subscribe to watch more content like this.